She was born in captivity, but from the very beginning, something about her was different. Her name was Koko, and she would soon become one of the most famous gorillas in the world, not for where she lived, but for what she learned. Koko began learning American Sign Language at just 1 year old. What started as a simple experiment turned into a lifelong journey. She didn't just memorize signs, she understood them. She used them with purpose. She used them to express thoughts, feelings, and even jokes. She was intelligent in ways no one expected. She could answer questions, describe things around her, even make requests. She didn't just mimic, she communicated. Her bond with her caretaker deepened over the years. What began as a research relationship grew into something far more personal. They weren't just teacher and student. They were companions. They were family. Koko had preferences. She had emotions. She had a personality. She loved picture books, looking at magazines, and especially loved kittens. She once asked for a cat as a birthday gift. When she got one, she treated it like her own child. She could be playful, stubborn, affectionate, and deeply empathetic. She cried when she was sad. She laughed when something amused her. She mourned when someone or something she loved was gone. Koko wasn't just a gorilla using sign language. She was something more. She was a living bridge between our world and hers, proof that intelligence and emotion don't belong to humans alone. Koko's relationship with her caretaker went beyond the typical human-animal bond. Over the years, what began as a professional connection transformed into a deep and profound friendship. Koko's caregiver, who spent hours with her each day, wasn't just teaching her signs. She was learning from Koko as well. Their connection was based on mutual respect, love, and an understanding that transcended words. As Koko's skills in sign language grew, so did the emotional depth of their interactions. She didn't just sign for food or toys, she signed to express her emotions. She would ask about people, show concern for her caretakers, and even share what was on her mind. When her caretaker was sad, Koko could sense it and respond with signs like sad or hug, offering comfort in her own unique way. Koko's empathy went beyond what many thought was possible for an animal. She would ask about her friends and express genuine concern when someone was upset. One of the most touching moments was when Koko, after seeing a distressed person, signed the word help with such urgency and care that it left everyone around her in awe. Her intelligence wasn't confined to just learning vocabulary. It extended to understanding context, emotions, and the needs of those around her. She could tell when someone was hurt or in need of comfort, and she responded in the most human-like ways possible. Their bond was something rare, an emotional connection that proved just how powerful and deep the relationships between humans and animals could be. It wasn't just one-sided either. Koko loved her caretaker deeply. She would often greet her with excitement, signing hello repeatedly, and sometimes even ask to spend time together. They shared moments of laughter and play, but also quiet, intimate moments of companionship. The connection between Koko and her caretaker was the kind that many never thought possible between a human and an animal. It was a bond built on trust, respect, and love. The idea of Koko participating in a live broadcast seemed like a natural step. She had captured hearts across the world with her remarkable ability to communicate, and the opportunity to share her story with millions was too important to pass up. The news station had been following her journey for years, and now they wanted to showcase the gorilla who could use sign language to the world. The interview was planned carefully. It wasn't just a chance to showcase her skills. It was an opportunity to raise awareness about the incredible bond that Koko had with her caretaker, and the deeper message about the emotional capacity of animals. The crew set up the cameras, and the interviewer prepared her questions. But what they didn't anticipate was how emotional the entire experience would become. Koko was calm and collected, sitting beside her caretaker, as if she knew the importance of the moment. The stage was simple, with just a few chairs and a backdrop, but there was an unmistakable sense of anticipation in the air. Koko, who had been a symbol of intelligence and compassion, was about to be seen by the world in a way no one had ever seen her before. The interviewer began with the usual questions about Koko's upbringing, her incredible achievements, and the progress she'd made with sign language. Koko responded with her usual grace, signing her answers and showing her usual flair for communication. But as the conversation went on, the atmosphere began to shift. It became clear that this wasn't just any interview. This was Koko's moment to say something more. The reporter asked Koko if she had anything to say to the viewers. What happened next was something no one could have predicted. Koko signed a series of words that were deeply personal and raw. The reporter, in disbelief, asked for a translation, and Koko's caretaker began to speak the words aloud. What Koko signed was simple, yet incredibly profound. The words seemed to come from a place of deep understanding, words that seemed like a final message. The moment was surreal, and even as the interview continued, it was clear that Koko had said something more than anyone could have imagined. As the interview continued, the energy in the room shifted. Koko, who had always been calm and composed, suddenly signed something that caught everyone off guard. She signed sad, followed by goodbye. It wasn't like the usual signs she'd made for food or toys. There was something different in her movements, something weighted with meaning. The reporter paused, unsure of what to make of it. "What did she just sign?" they asked, looking toward Koko's caretaker. The caretaker, visibly moved, struggled to translate. It wasn't just a farewell. Koko's signs were more than that. There was a sense of finality in the way she signed the words sad and goodbye. The caretaker's voice wavered as she translated, trying to hold back tears. It was clear that Koko wasn't just expressing sadness. She was saying goodbye. The room fell silent. The reporter, initially stunned, was unable to speak for a moment. Even the camera crew, who had seen countless moments of Koko's brilliance, stood in awe. It wasn't just a moment of communication. It was a deeply emotional exchange. The live broadcast, which had begun as a simple interview about Koko's talents, had turned into something entirely different. As the broadcast went on, Koko's message resonated with the viewers at home. The finality of her words hit hard. For those who had followed her journey for years, the moment felt like a culmination of everything Koko had shared with the world. It was a quiet, yet profound message, one that no one was prepared for. Koko had used her incredible ability to communicate not just to convey a message, but to connect with the world in a deeply human way. And in that moment, everything changed. The audience, glued to their screens, couldn't help but feel the weight of what Koko had said. It wasn't just a goodbye. It was a reminder of the deep emotional capacity animals have. A reminder that animals like Koko have thoughts and feelings that deserve to be recognized and respected. The aftermath of Koko's live interview left the world in a state of reflection. People everywhere were deeply moved by what had just transpired on live television. Social media exploded with reactions as viewers shared clips, posted tributes, and expressed their emotional responses to Koko's powerful words. The world had just witnessed something truly extraordinary, a gorilla who could communicate not just with signs, but with meaning, emotion, and depth. News outlets picked up the story, and the interview went viral. Koko's message, simple as it was, left an indelible mark on everyone who saw it. People couldn't stop talking about it. The emotional power of that moment went beyond words. It was a reminder of the deep connection we can share with animals and how much more we have yet to understand about their inner lives. As the days went by, the outpouring of love and support for Koko continued. Animal lovers, scientists, and everyday people joined together in appreciation for the profound bond between Koko and her caretaker. Some viewers even felt that Koko had said goodbye because she knew her time was coming to an end. It wasn't just the words that moved people. It was the emotional weight they carried. Her message was seen as a final gift, an opportunity to say goodbye in a way that was uniquely her own. In the wake of the broadcast, conversations about animal intelligence, communication, and consciousness gained more attention. Koko's story sparked discussions about the ethical treatment of animals and the need for a deeper understanding of their emotional worlds. It wasn't just about Koko anymore. It was about every animal who shares a similar depth of feeling, waiting for us to recognize and acknowledge it. The world, for a brief moment, stopped and took notice of an incredible creature who had spent her life bridging the gap between human understanding and the untold mysteries of the animal kingdom. Koko's passing, when it came, was felt as a collective loss, but her legacy lived on in the hearts of those who had witnessed her incredible abilities and in the conversations she sparked around the world. Koko may have said goodbye, but in doing so, she reminded us all that animals have voices too, voices that carry messages of love, sorrow, and connection. Her story didn't end that day. It became a catalyst for change, urging us to look closer, to listen harder, and to truly understand the animals we share this planet with.